here. I am Lilia so I'm a musician and a fitness professional and NSCA certified strength and conditioning specialist, and I made the MyoBeat app that is the music themed hardcore holistic athletics program. So today I am talking with Amy, a holistic lifestyle specialist. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I am Amy Arends, holistic mental wellness advisor, energy healer, and I am loving people back to life.
What my work and your work are all about is the mind body connection. I know that in your field, you specialize more in gut health and how that influences a person's overall physical function and cognition and emotional wellness. And then me in fitness, I emphasize more of the like somatosensory system, the relationship between movement and mindset. So yeah, that's a
Yes.
really interesting topic to explore. So go ahead and just tell us something about how gut health influences mental wellness.
Yes. So I believe being mentally healthy is just as important as being physically healthy, and we need both. So many people look physically healthy, but if their mind is not functioning properly, it's usually due to gut health and hormone imbalance. So I often work with women struggling with stress, anxiety, tension, depression, not wanting to go on medication. They want the holistic solutions. So finding the proper probiotic, prebiotic, phytobiotic specific strands for the stress anxiety going on in our gut microbiome, because 90% of serotonin, the happy hormone, is in our gut. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is in our gut. Immune system, people keep getting sick because they're eating junk and their gut microbiome is so out of whack, they don't even realize that
Yeah.
there is solutions. Stop eating processed food, like all the little things that add up. And if that's affecting your gut, it's going to affect your mind. So that's what the big thing is, to heal our three brains and how it's all connected: the gut, the heart, and the mind.
Yeah, they're
You
all
know,
integrated.
it's all connected. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them affects the other. And yeah, it's interesting how you mentioned with processed junk food, because a lot of stuff like that tastes really good. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of brownies ever since I was born, basically.
Me
Because of the
too. Yeah.
chocolatiness and the
That's
squishy
my weakness.
sponginess. And,
Uh-huh.
there's really, your body will forgive you for having a treat once in a while, but it's, of course, the excess. Pretty much, that's like a rule of life. I mean, anything in excess can be harmful. I mean, even water, there's something called hyponatremia. You can die from too much water. So, of course, brownies in excess would be bad, but having that treat once in a while, if it makes you feel good and happy, and then, all right. So we're not saying that you can
Exactly.
never eat, fun junk food. It's just don't depend on it.
Exactly. The 80/20. I live by 80/20.
That's a, that's
Most of the time,
a, yeah.
I most of the time I eat healthy, but if it's Friday or Saturday night, you're at a potluck and there's food, you don't want to deprive yourself. You still want to enjoy life.
Yeah,
And that's part of healing. When I healed my gut microbiome, I'm able to have these special, like, fun junk food now, and it doesn't affect me as much.
true, because if your gut health is generally good, then if you have some treats, even if you splurge at a buffet, you're able to digest it because you have that baseline of good gut health and function. Whereas if your
Exactly.
digestive function is not very good, if you have some sort of issue with that, then having even a little bit of treat, yeah, you will overreact to it. So that's a really good point about how if you keep yourself in a general state of strong health and wellness, then you can afford to have those little somethings here and there, and your body can adapt to it. So it's very similar how in the physical fitness and exercise realm, let's say if you have very strong bones because you've spent your life practicing the good nutrition, doing your resistance training, according to Wolf's Law, the stimulus of impact on the bone causes your body to lay down more bone. So that high impact resistance training actually makes your bones stronger. So that if you say tweak your ankle, you're a lot more capable of just healing and recovering on your own. Basically, it takes a lot more force to actually break or fracture a bone in a very physically conditioned person compared to someone who's very sedentary. I mean, I know
Hmm,
people who really
that makes
broken their
sense.
ankles tripping over bricks. Like, the same kind of thing where if when that kind of thing happens to me, it's just a little, oh, a little tweak. Oh, I got a little boo-boo. Just wait 5 minutes and it's fine. And I see people who
Yeah.
trip in the same way I do in my backyard all the time, and they actually break their ankles. And like, wow, what a big difference that makes, because I
Oh
have been
yeah.
an athlete all my life. When I was little, I did gymnastics, and then in high school, I retired from competing gymnastics, so I looked for other ways to stay fit. So dabbled into general like weights and cardio. After 2 years, I
Yeah.
felt redundant and boring, so I got more into like CrossFit and also performance acrobatics. I experimented with things like
Oh,
acrobatic contemporary dance. And then
good.
more recently, in the last couple of years, I really wanted to integrate the music that I write with my band, Carcaza. It's a heavy metal
Yeah.
band, so it's very intensive, energetic music. We were discussing as a band, actually, it's had nothing to do with fitness. We're like, the purpose of our band is to get people to move, bring out their energy, write music about subjects they can relate to. I that all synthesized itself in my mind. I was like, okay, move,
All together.
relatability, physicality. Okay, well, and I started conceptualizing how I can choreograph my strength and conditioning workouts to music. Because things
That's
like three
great.
sets of eight, well, for a year or two, you get really good gains of that, but it can get boring and redundant. Okay, 3 sets of 8 bicep curls. Now 3 sets of 8 to 10 deadlifts. Now 3 sets of 8 squats. I
So
mean,
you
a
do it
lot
to
of
music now.
a lot of people in the gym will
Yeah.
just stick with those, a very similar weight load, like weight training exercises, sets and
Yeah.
reps range. A lot of people will see what gets them results after a year and keep doing that, but then you get diminishing returns, redundancy.
Yeah. So when your clients come to you, what are they first initially looking for? Like
Well, yeah,
toning strength or
with my program, because it's a music themed fitness program, so I really like to market it towards musicians and other performing artists a lot,
yeah,
because you know what? Performing artists have a big need for mind body connection and physical
exactly.
fitness, but there is not a whole lot out there for them. Whereas for athletes, well, I remember when I was a gymnast, we already had our training program. So I wasn't going out looking for other conditioning programs. I mean, we're already training
Got
20
it.
hours a week. It's
Yeah,
too
it's
much
a
if we
lot.
add anything else to that. And then school, and then your part-time
Like a
jobs.
job. Yeah. 20
So
hours is like a job.
yeah, and then in addition to school, of course. So I really
Yeah,
like
that's
to
a lot.
cater to musicians who are looking more for functional fitness. So for musicians,
Good.
we actually look for both the aesthetics and the function, because there is a lot of focus on body image in any kind of entertainment or performing arts. So a
Yeah,
lot of musicians suffer from body image struggles, but it's
that's so I can help
usually
them.
not because they're actually overweight. I mean, most performing musicians really are in a healthy weight range, but they feel a lot of pressure to look, quote, perfect, whatever that might be. So,
Yeah, if they're on stage and everything.
yeah, they might think that perfect means being super skinny. Others might think it means being super ripped and jacked, like, a bodybuilder style. So, whatever
Yeah.
it is, they have a lot of pressure to look a certain way. So I know in
Hmm.
my genre, heavy metal, a lot of the guys like to look super jacked, and even the girls too, they like to look strong and sexy, and there could be a lot of pressure to look perfect.
Yeah.
So they have that, and they
Like,
also need to just physically have the energy to move and do their shows, especially touring musicians who perform a lot, or musicians who have long rehearsal or recording sessions. So some mobility. For like guitar and bass players, for example, back problems are a common issue because you have that instrument in front of
yes,
you. It's not that heavy,
definitely.
but after the hours and hours, if you're not careful, that can trigger spine issues. However, with the
Exactly.
right balance of strength, mobility, and endurance in the trunk muscles, that can prevent all
And
of those problems.
nutrition.
Nutrition
Yeah.
as
And
well.
nutrition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nutrition.
Make sure that they're getting a balanced diet. And that's why they need you and I to make sure that they're getting the proper nutrients in their body and then the workout with you. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
We can do it
let's throw out
together.
the elephant in the room. I mean, we all know a lot of musicians substitute, alcohol and cigarettes, and other controlled substances for actual nutrition. And
And
something
they
that I
eat
like to discuss with
junk food, whatever's there at the
I
venue when they were
also the fact
performing.
that eating healthy when you're playing a show is a matter of planning because you don't play out in
Yeah.
the middle of the desert. You play in a, society in a city with stuff around you. So you can, if you really prioritize your nutrition, you can take the time to plan, bring something with you. That's something that I do and I recommend others do. So like, I know
Yeah.
that a lot of the time your gigs conclude at midnight when most
Eating
establishments
late.
are closed. That does
Yeah.
not mean that Taco Bell is your only option. If you plan
Exactly.
on it, I'm sure that you're passing by all kinds of stores and establishments on the way there. You can pass by and get
The
something healthy
convenience.
like a sandwich, wrap, salad on your way to the gig, as long as you have good logistical planning.
Yeah. And that they are okay with eating healthy. I feel like sometimes it's not like cool, just like whatever everybody else is eating. And you're like, no, you don't have to. Do what's best for you and your body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. There is that, establishing your own boundaries.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like drinking or smoking or trying other kinds of substances that might be there, I mean, of course, there would be peer pressure in that. So through like the kind of
And
fitness.
it's fun. It's fun to be in the moment and do that too.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like if you're generally healthy, having a drink or even a smoke here and there, it's not going to kill you. If you are generally in good physical condition and you don't have some sort of other health concern underlying all of that, you can, of
Hmm.
course, afford to get drunk every once in a while, but obviously it's horrible if you keep doing that every day. But so
Exactly.
through my kind of fitness regimen with the MyoBeat app, is really geared toward helping you feel powerful. When you feel really strong, powerful, and authoritative under your own skin, you know that you don't need to go out and prove that to other people in other ways. Like, there's a lot of, like, oh, I'm so macho. Look how
Yeah.
much I can drink. Oh, I challenge you to a drinking contest. Look how fast I can drink
Hmm.
whiskey. And look, I drink a higher proof than you. A lot of time, alcohol in specific is used as like a proof of your macho toughness, both for
Oh,
guys and girls, by the way. It's not just a man thing anymore. I mean, girls get
yeah.
into that just as much these days, using drinking contests to prove that they are tough. So if you have a consistent way to make yourself feel strong and powerful the way that you already are, with what's under your own skin by the way that you move, you don't feel the need. Like, okay, they might make fun of you for not
Exactly.
drinking, but sure, sure, whatever. Whatever. You just know that
Exactly. And that's part of the mental wellness coming in too. When their gut is healthy, they're not going to crave those um like crappy junk food, you know? They'll want more good things. Once you start putting good nutrition in, you crave an apple instead of a donut kind of thing. That's what
exactly.
I've been working with. Yeah.
So that's a pretty big deal. I
Yeah.
mean, the drummer of my band is sort of chubby, kind of chubby. And, I suggested that you start taking multivitamin supplements. And he said that that made a huge difference to reducing his cravings for junk food. Because his thing would be
Good. Because you're
when he
getting
first
good things in. You want more good things.
eating more, you want 4 brownies after lunch. You want your lunch to be a big stack of stuff. Like that after like
Those
about
are the kind of
a month
people that
of
I want to help.
yeah, after about a month of taking a good multivitamin, that helped reduce those cravings a lot. He's satisfied with much less because a lot of the cravings you have for junk foods are really triggered by nutrient deficiencies. And I'm sure that you would know all about that, huh?
Yes, that's the kind of people that I want to help and work with because just to have that awareness that if you put all this good things in and help heal your gut microbiome, it can be life changing. With the GBX Fit, and there's a new GBX Burn that you take on an empty stomach, and then you take the GBX Fit on an empty stomach. That's a quad biotic, probiotic, prebiotic, phytobiotic, and post, and it's helping people lose weight, have less cravings, less stress. The inflammation goes down, and then the burn helps you keep it off.
Yeah,
So it's a
that's very
thermogenic,
important.
all natural. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, to be able to
And
lose
heal.
weight or manipulate your body composition, but in a way that doesn't feel so restrictive. And that's a big thing
Exactly.
of having the right kind of nutrition and gut microbiome with a pre and
Hmm.
probiotics. That
Yeah.
really, like when you can let someone naturally reduce their cravings for junk food, it lets
Yeah.
them lose weight, but in a way that feels good to them, you know?
Exactly. You feel good and healthy and just lighter, when you cut out certain junk foods and you just feel better in
Yeah,
general.
when
And
it
you keep
comes
going with that consistent routine of taking this good nutrition and working out, you just keep getting better and better. And the better you feel, the better you're going to look, and the mental wellness is all better. It's like that vicious cycle of goodness instead of the vicious cycle of
yeah,
the bad. Let's get on the cycle of good.
yeah, and
That's
actually, the types of
the
activities
goal.
you do, that is also something that influences what you crave. So when you do a lot of strength training, you need more protein in your diet to help facilitate the
Hmm.
muscle protein synthesis. And in turn, you
Yeah,
actually start craving more protein-rich foods. So I think, I mean, it's been a humongous blessing for me that I've been involved in sports all my life because I feel like that made a big impact on how I also got used to eating pretty healthy. I like my brownies and ice cream and things like that, but I know
absolutely.
not to let it go overboard, because when
Yeah, I'm always like moderation and portion size. A little bit once in a while is okay.
and you also learn things like, okay, it's not worth it for how it makes you feel afterwards. Well,
Exactly. Once you do it that many times and you feel like crap after or the next day, and you're like, okay, I don't want to do this to my body anymore, you know?
yeah, when there's something that's just not made for human consumption, like all those artificial
Exactly.
things, like you can get away with a little bit, but again, realize that you are getting away with it, okay? You're getting away with
Hmm.
something negative. Okay, that's the
Yes,
perspective you have to see it through.
exactly.
Oh,
Well,
I
thank
think
you so much.
well, the
Yes, great.
80/20 rule I think is pretty good because, I think if you are eating healthy 80% of the time, you can afford that approximately 20% of those little splurges here and there, and your body can adjust and work through that. Because I think we also have to consider socially speaking, like if you are at a birthday party, you don't want to be that boring person saying, "Oh, I can't have birthday cake, not even a little bit, because I have to eat 100% clean all the time." Because, it's like you want to celebrate birthday person can feel sort of neglected if you don't participate. So,
I know.
it
I
is
always
all
take
that.
one bite and I'm like, is it worth it? If it's really good, I'm like, okay. If it's not,
Maybe
then I'm
just
like, I'm good. I'd throw it
like
away.
a
Don't let
little
anybody see
tiny
it.
thing, like a little tiny thin piece, just a little bit here and there.
Hmm.
But it's
Yeah,
all that stuff in balance. Like, so, balance out things that you like to eat, things that are good for your body. Of course, that's what you want to emphasize. And also like the socialization aspect, kind of celebrating with people, and I just think
exactly.
if you have a good, you know, gut health, good physical fitness, pay attention to
Oh
your
yeah,
mental wellness, all that stuff can kind of fit together very intuitively.
exactly. That's why we're a great team and we're gonna help more and more people feel better mentally and physically. I'm looking forward to the future.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you in participating in this discussion with me today.
Thank you. We'll do more lives and get the word out.
Yes, yes, live. That is something we'll do, everyone. So we will
Mhm.
announce it when we're about to do a live stream so you all know about it and can tune in.